Alright. My name is Researcher Ro Lucian, and today I will be talking about SCP-3090. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3090 is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment cell at Site-17. Personal electronic devices such as cell phones, computers, and handheld video game consoles are not allowed in a 12-meter radius of SCP-3090, except during testing periods. SCP-3090 is to have a psychological evaluation every Tuesday with Dr. August Lycan and junior psychologist Blake Maxim Yamagasuku. Revised Containment Procedures. February 18th, 2017. Mobile Task Force Kappa 10, Skynet, are responsible for locating entities suspected to be SCP-3090 or in possession of abilities similar to SCP-3090, due to the possibility of SCP-3090's self-termination being a planned containment breach. Description: SCP-3090 is a humanoid of indeterminate race and age. The head has been replaced with a detachable television set. This television can only be removed by SCP-3090. When turned on by pressing the powered button or reconnecting it to SCP-3090's body, a pixelated logo shows up in a large pink font reading "Miss Mad About Video Games" by Gamers Against Weed. Replaced then by various text characters assembled into a facsimile of a face, dependent on its mood. When separated, SCP-3090's neck terminates in a standard 515 electrical socket. This state of separation also renders it unable to communicate or interact with others meaningfully. Any interactive media in a 10-meter radius of SCP-3090 becomes an instance of SCP-3091. An icon of SCP-3090 will generate on the bottom left corner of the screen during gameplay. Playing SCP-3091 induces a catatonic state on the player when their avatar or character is terminated or otherwise enters a fail state. This reverts upon resumption of play, or if the instance of SCP-3091 ceases operation. Subjects regaining consciousness report feelings of dissociation and identifying with their digital avatar. SCP-3090 controls the graphical output appearing on screen, altering it spontaneously. This is usually done in a form of minor graphical adjustments not present in the program's code. SCP-3090 reports fatigue after long-term or repeated activation of its anomalous effects. Programs with more intensive graphical appearance also cause SCP-3090 to become strained. Recovery. The Foundation was alerted to SCP-3090's existence after intercepting police reports of a suspicious individual causing a disturbance outside of a GameStop in Las Vegas, Nevada. Said figure held a sign that read, "We can be the generation that ends gaming addiction forever." SCP-3090's sweatshirt contained a document consistent with others associated with various misters from Gamers Against Weed. Document 3090-A. Addendum 3090-A. Test Logs and Interviews. Test 1. Game: The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the Nintendo GameCube. Players: N.A. Notes: Control Test. Technical Assistant Metwad Supervising. SCP-3090 and its icon were unresponsive until Metwad touched the controller while unplugging it. When the icon responded to the controller being touched and changed the graphics in-game to appear slightly more exaggerated. Changes disappeared upon the controller being unplugged. Test 2. Game: 2 copies of Pokemon Crystal on 2 Game Boy Advances. Players: D7215 and D3015. Notes: D7215's game had graphics typical of a Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire game. Pokemon Fainted text was replaced with Pokemon Died. D3015's game had graphics typical of a Pokemon Crystal game, but red pixels appeared on the Pokemon as hit points decreased. Aesthetic alterations are variable depending on the subject playing. Both D-Class had a team of 3 Pokemon each. Wounds began to manifest on subjects which were consistent with the injuries sustained by their respective Pokemon. SCP-3090 would then choose a new Pokemon for the subject, reversing their state. Text transcribed from D3015's game follows. Enemy Typhlosion use Flame Wheel. Vileplume is hurt by the burn. Vileplume use Toxic. Enemy Typhlosion is poisoned. Enemy Typhlosion use Swift. Holographic ninja stars appeared and sliced through D3015's body, with blood appearing to pour onto the floor. D7215 notices and jumps out of his chair, dropping the Game Boy Advance onto the floor and refusing to play further. Vileplume died. Enemy Typhlosion is hurt by poison. D7215 falls to the ground, complaining of a stomach ache. SCP-3090 turned off the game at this point, patting D3015's head before moving back to where it sat. Interview 3090-A. Interviewed, SCP-3090. Interviewer, Dr. August Lycan. Forward. Interview done soon after Test 2. SCP-3090 had refused to speak to Foundation personnel up to this point, where it relented to an interview. Begin log 1321.
Good afternoon, Miss Mad About Video Games.
I don't think that's such a good handle. My mom's gave me an actual name, you know.
What did they call you then?
I'm not sure I want to share, actually. It was endearing, but embarrassing.
Alright then, let's talk about the last test we did. Why did you shut off both Game Boys in the middle of test 2?
If I didn't, they would have kept fighting. And I don't like fights. They're not fun, and games are supposed to be fun. Neither of them looked like they had fun as well.
But what people experience when they lose or die in games is, well...
SCP-3090's head displays an ellipses, remaining silent for a full minute.
How do you make things happen outside of the game?
It's a gimmick. Good graphics. Everyone loves good graphics. I do too, even if I love playing older games. I think all the good movies these days are in 3D, so why shouldn't games be the same way?
Then what about the state people are put in when they lose?
I'm not sure. Maybe they're so immersed in their game they end up believing it impacts them as well. Whenever I play games, nothing happens. I'm not a human anymore, so I can't speak to that. I do enhance the graphics to appear more realistic, but those are holograms. They shouldn't be able to harm people.
So let me ask again. Why do you end up making people go through that state?
SCP-3090's head displays an ellipses, remaining silent for another minute. As Dr. Lycan is about to ask another question, it speaks.
It's not exactly an ideal situation, is it? Maybe it's because people are angriest right when they die in a video game, or lose. It cuts down on aggression and hostility, so you have the time to cool down and not be aggressive. That's what I assume anyway. I never bothered to ask.
Do you remember who created you? What are your earliest memories?
My mother's. It feels too weird calling them creators. I stayed in one of their places and got to play all the time. It's fine for me to play all the time since I don't need to do anything else. But I made sure she didn't burn herself out. Anyway, they wanted to take me to a GameStop and win a video game tournament, which was fine since I'm very, very good at gaming. I won. And of course, people had all of, that happen to them. They didn't give me the Switch that was the prize. One of the other contestants tried to take my head off because they thought it was part of her costume. It didn't come off, so I took it off myself. Everyone freaked out. And when they put it back on me in a panic, they locked me out while they called the police. I tried to follow my mothers out, but I realized too late that they had already left, and ended up locked outside of the store. I miss her.
What did she or your other mom look like? We can have her come here for you.
I'd rather see myself home.
SCP-3090 displayed a prohibition sign, refusing to respond to any further inquiries. End log 1326. Test 8. Game. Animal Crossing New Leaf from the Nintendo 3DS. Players D8000. Notes. Since Animal Crossing New Leaf is a game without fail states, it was hypothesized that no abnormalities other than the expected graphical changes would occur. SCP-3090 appeared delighted to watch the game, stating that this was its favorite game as well as being non-violent. D8000 was instructed to play until told to stop by Foundation staff. At 1 hour, the lower left icon displayed a text pop-up which was also spoken aloud by SCP-3090, saying, "You've been playing for a while, maybe you should take a break." It repeated this phrase at 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes, and 1 hour and 45 minutes. At 2 hours, it changed to, "You look tired, you should give your eyes a break." It repeated this phrase at 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 20 minutes, and 2 hours and 30 minutes. At 2 hours and 45 minutes, it stated, "You're so tired, please stop." The 3DS is observed to have a pink substance leaking out of it, then unidentified. D8000 was instructed by technical researcher Metwad to continue playing. At 2 hours and 50 minutes, it stated, "You're overexerting yourself, please stop," as the icon switched to appearing exasperated. The substance became thicker and more opaque. At 3 hours, the 3DS ceased functioning as SCP-3090 collapsed, a buffering symbol displaying on its screen. Incident Report 3090/890. Involved individuals: SCP-3090, SCP-890. Report. With the approval of Site Director Everett Mann, both SCP-3090 and the 3DS were brought to SCP-890 for surgery. According to SCP-890, the 3DS was complaining of symptoms consistent with heavy metal poisoning. It determined that the victim had, though chemical testing of the substance revealed that it was non-anomalous and able to be replicated. The 3DS also had contusions from regular usage, but this was unrelated to the patient's cause of death. SCP-3090 did not receive surgery as SCP-890 determined it was neither similar to other patients nor a simple mass of meat. It advised personnel that based on similar experiences, SCP-3090 only needed to rest for approximately a few days before returning to its original state. Interview 3090-B. Interviewed. SCP-3090. Interviewers: Dr. August Lycan, Junior Psychologist Blake Maxim Yamagasuku. Forward. Interview done 1 day after SCP-3090 returned to its original state. Begin log 1640.
Hello, my name is Blake Maxim Yamagasuku, and I'll be here to talk with you along with Dr. Lycan. I know what happened must have been very difficult, but hopefully I can help.
Sure. I decided on a name as well. Heather.
Heather. That's a good name. Heather, do you want to talk about your experience?
No. I would like it if you don't have that happen to me much. Will you tell me when I'm able to go home? I'm feeling fine enough.
We're still trying to locate your parents as well as see if you're fine enough to go back home. I know you don't want to talk about what happened, but any sort of information could help us if it was that new of an experience to you.
Then, I can try. When the guy played too much Animal Crossing, I started to feel really worried for him. I think I got so worried that I got sick as well. Even my mom doesn't play games for that long, and she streams for an audience. When I...
At this point, Dr. Lycan's phone went off, prompting him to take the phone out of his pocket and look. Unlocking the phone opened up a game application. An icon immediately appeared on the bottom left screen, unnoticed by Dr. Lycan at the moment.
My bad. 3009. Heather, I thought I had gotten a text.
SCP-3090's screen immediately changes to a flashing exclamation point. The phone screen instantly cracks, accompanied by the sound of glass breaking.
What?
Please pay attention. This is not the time to play video games.
Conversation halted for 19 seconds as Lycan handed Yamagasuku his phone, making nervous hums as Yamagasuku leaves the room. Lycan clears his throat before continuing the interview.
Right. Sorry. I didn't realize my phone was in my pocket. Please continue.
SCP-3090's screen changes to a face with 2 X's for eyes.
You called me a number. That never sounds nice, regardless of the context.
Silence for 12 seconds as Yamagasuku returns to the room.
You don't plan to have me leave here, right?
You'll be staying here for an indefinite amount of time.
Then what about my parents?
We don't know where they are either. We've been looking for them ever since we brought you here.
SCP-3090 leans on the table as its display turns into a buffering symbol, refusing to respond to further inquiries. End log 1649. Test 12. Game. Popper. Rise of the Monster King. Players. D2091. Notes. Testing done to see if anomalous games would be affected by SCP-3090, as well as display consistent results with other video games. SCP-3090 displayed knowledge concerning SCP-951, and was interested in interacting with it. Initial anomalous effects displayed as normal after loading a previous save file. An excerpted transcript of gameplay follows with extraneous details cut. A full transcript can be given upon request by technical researcher Metwad.
Hello. Do you want to go to Waterlantis today? There's a monster or 2 over there that you might want to recruit.
Sure, let's go.
Something seems different this time around. Did you use a cheat code? You don't need to do that.
I haven't done anything. We should get out of the magma caves. 20 minutes later, a random encounter started. Shortly after the battle started, SCP-951 took on the appearance of the character Lucas from the game Mother 3, as he appears in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, as opposed to the usual random block of pixels. SCP-951 defeated the enemy monster in one hit, immediately reverting back to its original state.
Why do I look like that?
You noticed?
Yeah. I don't know what you did there, but I'm not a fan of these changes. I've been making the game more fun for us, but I feel weird being messed with like that.
At this point, SCP-3090's icon interjected.
But you look cooler this way. Shouldn't you be happy about that?
Hey, who is that? What is she doing here? I thought it was just us.
You are a good friend, but I had another join us. I thought I might introduce you to her.
Huh?
SCP-3090's icon and face display anger.
I don't know you. I'm here against my will, and you have the gall to call me your friend?
She makes me really nervous. I don't want to play with you while she's around. Please turn off the game, and next time, don't bring your other friends.
Postscript. SCP-3090's mood plummeted considerably for the next 2 days, remaining uncooperative during testing. Test 15. Notes. Following the most recent interview session, in conjunction with Project Crowdreader, SCP-3090 was prompted to make a blank Twitter account. 11 images were discovered, 2 of which were classified information. 9 images were printed. 3 of the 11 images were related to the Danganronpa media series, to which SCP-3090 responded, "Me." 1 image was related to the video game Persona 5, featuring the character Morgana with the text on the top reading, "You must be tired after today," and the text on the bottom reading, "Let's go to sleep." Twitter account was subsequently deleted to prevent an intelligence breach. Test 16. Game. A game of Super Mario Bros. Altered to play an oral mimetic kill agent for 50 seconds after touching a power-up known as the Superstar. Players. D8052. Notes. SCP-3090 was made unaware of the game's nature during testing. D8052 experienced a stroke, although her hands continued to operate and play the game. Of its own volition, SCP-3090 goes to take the controller from D8052, but it remains in her grip. When Mario dies, despite death not being caused by SCP-3090's anomaly, D8052 revived. D8052 re-expired when the power was shut down remotely. SCP-3090 was negatively affected after testing, remaining silent during the next 2 interviews, and only displaying a prohibition sign until the subsequent interview. Interview 3090-F. Interviewed. SCP-3090. Interviewers. Dr. August Lycan, Junior Psychologist Blake Yamagasuku. Forward. This was the first interview after 3 weeks following Test 16, where SCP-3090 was willing to communicate with interviewers again, appearing less distressed. Begin log, 1700.
Good afternoon, Heather. Are you feeling any better today?
I think so. Please let me go home. I'm tired of all the things you guys have me do.
We need to know the full extent of what your abilities are so that we can release you to the public without any fear or worry of you harming others, even if it's an accident.
SCP-3090 produces audio and video static for 6 seconds.
I understand that testing isn't great. We can reduce it greatly for you. The important thing is to make sure you're doing fine mentally. It can be difficult to adjust to staying here. A lot of people I talk to feel that way. That's why we want to make sure you're well.
SCP-3090's face changes to an ellipsis for 10 seconds before turning to a neutral expression.
When I was living back home with my mom, she helped me learn how to design video games. We were working on a beat 'em up, something like Street Fighter, but in 3D and more story-orientated. So like God Hand. But gay.
Gay?
In both ways. I was pretty gay before being like this.
SCP-3090 gestures to its body.
Still am. I don't think that matters much. Anyway, I like learning how to make games almost as much as playing them. But, truth be told, it always felt like a weird thing to do. I can already literally affect people through games and edit them myself. Making them just feels less tangible. Besides, beat-em-ups are too violent for me. They're fun, but I like karma stuff. Like puzzle games and visual novels.
Have you always disliked violent games? It seems to clash with the name.
Yeah, even fictional characters getting hurt isn't fun, let alone real people.
Do you think it has anything to do with your abilities?
I did have a say in it, though I think the executioner said stuff I can do got messed up a little bit along the way. I don't blame my moms, though.
That sort of creation is hard to perfect, after all. It's sort of like magic, in a way. They certainly did their best.
They did. I miss them. I think I'm done with talking today.
End log 1704. Test 20. Game. Tetris. Game Boy 1989. On a Game Boy Advance. Players. SCP-3090. Notes. SCP-3090 started a new game and waited for the blocks to fall on top of each other. As a pillar of tetramino-shaped blocks manifested, SCP-3090's icon moved to an empty space where the blocks fell and crushed it, with the icon disappearing upon impact. SCP-3090 fell unconscious. Starting a new game did not revive SCP-3090. After 3 hours, SCP-3090's body disappeared, with Document 3090-B and Document 3090-C manifesting in its space. Document 3090-B.
If die, then revive somewhere else, failsafe. Sorry, Mags. We'll find you ASAP.
Document 3090-C is a GameStop Power-Up Rewards Pro card. Aside from the text Super High School Level appearing on the top of the card, it is otherwise non-anomalous, and able to be used at a GameStop. Alright. That's all I have to say about this subject.